good morning, how do you do? Good morning, I'm fine, how about you? How are you doing today? Are you doing good? Are you mucho feliz? Or are you doing bad, malo, and you feel triste? You're gonna cry today. It's raining. I don't know what it's doing at your house, but it's raining at my house, or a little bit rainy and cloudy. So I'm going to put cloudy up on my calendar. Not really raining right this minute, so I'll just put cloudy, but it might be rainy, right? Is it raining at your house right now? Yesterday was the 11th, and we had our Zoom meeting. And yesterday, Katie had you do a special project, which was the Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel, and there was an art project in your kit yesterday for this book, right? So today we are going to be doing Dinosaurs Love Underpants. And I have an art kit for you in your school kit. The art kit for this particular project is in Miss Jill's homeschool kit for June. So what I have done is I cut some characters out of the front to kind of show you what it's going to look like from the page on the book. But you will have a piece of paper that you will unroll. I think I did put some little decorations on here. Let's open it up and see what we have. Oh, it's just got some kind of like pussy willows on it. I thought I would just put a little decoration on the background. And then you will have, to go on your project, you will have two dinosaurs. You'll have this one, right? And you will have this one, right? So if you look at this, you see the two dinosaurs, and they're having a tug of war over a pair of underpants. So they will be on your project like this. And the pair of underwear that I'm giving you to have a tug of war over is in here. And it looks all stretched out. So you can put that up on their horns so it looks like it's looped over the horns and maybe in the other one's mouth, because they're trying to tear it apart. So you could put it on like this. Rah, right? On your background. And then I have some underpants, and I also have see how in this picture there's a ground down here? So on your blue piece of paper, you're going to glue the brown on so that you'll know where the ground is that they're standing on. So glue this one on first to the bottom of your blue paper, and then you can glue on your dinosaurs. And when you glue your dinosaurs on, first space them on there and see how far apart they need to be before you put the glue on them so you can get the underwear in the right spot, okay? So that's what that project is. And there's also in here some other pieces. Well, this one here had some extra pieces, but it looks like all of the dinosaurs, each of the dinosaurs. This one goes on this one. Each of the dinosaurs has a pair of underwear to put on because they're wearing underpants in the picture too. So you'll have two pair of underwear, and you'll have to figure out which pair goes to which dinosaur based on how it fits them, and try to make it look like the picture. Okay? I'm not going to send out a separate tutorial because we're going over it today, and you can just go back and listen to this morning meeting again and pause it if you have any questions on how to put that together, right? So I will send you the reading of the book so you can listen to the story on my YouTube channel. But for the tutorial, you can just refer to today's morning meeting and go back and pause the meeting so you can keep track of what you need to do for that particular project. And then send me a copy of your project. And actually, I can just read this book to you. They'll all be together in one spot. Dinosaurs Love Underpants. And this book is written by Claire Friedman and Ben Court. Look at all the underpants on these pages. They have bloomers, boys' underwear, girls' underwear. Dinosaurs were all wiped out a long way back in history, but no one knows quite how or why. Now this book solves the mystery. So they're showing the dinosaur bones like we read about earlier in the week, because dinosaurs like the ones that we've been talking about, T-Rex and Stegosaurus and Triceratops, they were all extinct many years ago. They all died off, right? Now the only living dinosaurs we have are things like parakeets and chickens. It all began when cavemen felt embarrassed in the nude, so someone dreamed up underpants to stop them from looking crude. They thought they looked crude when they didn't have underpants on, so they decided to make underpants. The dinosaurs roamed everywhere, all teeth and huge long necks, but scariest and meanest was Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is a rhyming book, have you noticed? When T-Rex saw a man's undies, he roared with deafening rants. I don't want to eat you up. I just want your underpants. Isn't that funny? They thought he wanted to eat them, but all he wanted was their underpants. T-Rex stole a furry pair, but his briefs quickly ripped. He couldn't get them past his feet. Oh, whoops, watch out, he tripped. Look, a caveman's underpants would be much smaller. They'd be way too small for a T-Rex, right? Triceratops was happy wearing undies on every horn. Still, Stegosaurus snatched them, and they all ended up torn. If you have a tug-of-war with your underpants, could they rip? The pants from woolly mammoth's coats made Stegosaurus itchy. Diplodocus was really mad. His briefs were way too pinchy. If you wear underwear that's way too small, they are not comfortable at all. Yikes. We're running low on underpants, the caveman quaked in shock. These dinos are undie crazy. They've completely run amok. So the cavemen are worried because the dinosaurs are stealing all their underpants, right? Soon undies were flying everywhere, all torn by tooth and claw. The dinosaurs were fighting in a great big tug of war. Look, they're all fighting over the underpants. Pretty colors in this book, isn't it? It looks like they did this with a painting. Nice bright colors. The mighty underpants war raged all night. Thump, pow, bash, thwack, clout. The fighting got so crazy, all the dinos were wiped out. So that's how dinosaurs went extinct? Do you think that's how it happened? They were fighting over underpants? That's a little bit silly. The next day out the cavemen crept and cheered, oh, what they saw. Hooray, our biggest enemy is now no more. So the cavemen were happy that the dinosaurs all died from fighting over their underwear, so now they didn't have to lose their underwear anymore to the dinosaurs, right? So when you put your undies on, always treat them with great care. Don't forget, briefs saved mankind. They're not just underwear. So do you think that we wouldn't even be alive today if the dinosaurs weren't fighting over the underwear and wiped themselves all out? Or do you think that's just a tall tale? Fiction. Just a make-believe story, right? Oh, look at this. Isn't that a cute picture? Pterodactyl wearing some underpants flying in the sky. Okay, so you have an art project which I explained to you about what to do with this book. We're going to work on finishing up our morning meeting. Let's look at the other activities we have today, and then we'll go back and do our calendar. So it looks like you're going to listen to 3 books, read 3 books with your teacher or your nanny or your mom or somebody. And then for writing, you can choose a writing activity from your folder today. Math, choose 3 pages from your bingo math folder. Science, observe your plants and send me any updates. So what I noticed in my garden, if I get out there again today, I'll send you a picture, but Avery and Will brought me 6 Jetstar tomato plants that they had left over when they bought their plants. They bought a few too many and didn't have room for them. And since so many of my original plants that I planted with all of you died when I tried to get them, they were just a little bit too big to be transferred outside into the cold weather. Like, plants are funny. Like, when they're a little bit younger, they're a little bit easier to transplant, but when they start to get big and then the weather is either too cold or too hot, they can die pretty quickly. So it's kind of a tenuous time for them. They're temperamental. So I think Lauren felt bad for me, so she dropped me off 6 Jetstar tomatoes, which was awfully generous. Jetstars are a regular sized tomato, not too big, not like the big beefsteak, and they're not tiny like the little super sweet 100s that I grow in my backyard, the cherry tomatoes. They're just in the middle, like a regular normal sized tomato. And they actually only take, I think, I don't know, like 55 days or 65 days to maturity. So they are usually one of the first tomatoes that come out, kind of like an early girl. Whereas the beefsteaks, they're so big that they take longer, and they take, I don't know, 65, 70 days. They take a long time. So they're really not even ready till almost the end of August. That's kind of tough to be waiting for tomatoes that long. So those plants are doing really good. I put them in pots. But then remember way back, I think it was in, I'm not sure if it was April or May, I had said to you that I had read an article in the Globe about starting your own gardens from vegetables that you have in your house. One of the ideas was you take a tomato that you're eating and you take the seeds and you wipe them across a piece of paper towel, and then you let those seeds dry a little bit, and then you can plant those. So I had told you that I planted some of those in my Aero garden, and I don't even think I waited a day for them to dry. Like, they didn't really get a hard coat on them, but I was kind of doing an experiment. So I said, I'll just throw these in. I don't even remember if they were organic tomatoes or not. And if they weren't, and they were some kind of a hybrid, they might not even produce any fruit this year. You know, this is all a big experiment. But anyway, I planted some of those seeds in my Aero garden, and then, they grew. So I said, oh, I'll throw them in. So when Avery and Will brought me those 6 Jetstars, I had 8 pots to put 6 plants in. So that meant I had 2 extra pots. So I took 2 of the tomatoes from my Aero garden and I put them in the 2 middle pots so that I would remember which ones were the ones I grew from seed and which ones were the Jetstars. Now, the Jetstar plants that Avery and Will gave me were about this big. When I put my little tiny tomatoes in, they were probably only about this big. They were much smaller. But now when I looked at them yesterday and this morning, the plants that I put in are bigger than the Jetstars. They look fantastic, but I don't know if they're going to grow a tomato. We'll have to wait and see. It's an experiment. It's all an experiment. So I noticed that my green beans are beginning to climb up a little bit. They're beginning to grab onto the wire support that I have. Those big A-frames, those things last year that used to be in my garden that you used to climb under. They almost look like a teepee. Well, those I put into my garden this year, and I planted some green beans up around them, and they are growing up, and they're probably up about this high. They're not 4 feet high like Virginia and Cody's. I wonder if Virginia and Cody will get any green beans on theirs before they leave to come back home, because I was talking to their mom last night at our parent-teacher conference, our parent-teacher meeting, and she said they're coming home in a couple of weeks. I wonder if they'll get any green beans before they leave. If not, maybe they'll have to just see a picture of their grandmother eating all of them. Ugh, that's funny. So anyway, those were our activities for today. You can send me if you have any updates from your garden. And Umi and David's mom said that they noticed that the robin in their backyard that had a nest that they sent you pictures from this year, it looked like she was hanging around the nest again, and that maybe she would be putting some more eggs in there to have another batch of baby birds. And so I noticed that my robins in my backyard, where you guys watched all those baby birds from egg till they became big enough to fly out of their nest, right? I noticed that the robins have been hanging around that nest again too. So I'm wondering if she's getting ready to have another set of eggs to raise another little flock of birds, baby birds, do you think? And then also in my backyard today, I saw a tiny, he was only like this big. Like if you put your 4 fingers like this, from there to there, if you measured, that's how small a baby bunny was in my backyard today. Just one of them. He was so small I had to look at him like 2 or 3 times to see if it was just a really big mouse or if it was a really tiny bunny. And it was a really tiny bunny. So you tell me what you see in your backyard. Keep your ojos wide open. Abriendo los ojos and look around. Mira. See if you see any small, petite bunnies. Or what kind of bugs. I've been seeing dragonflies lately, and hummingbirds are going crazy at the feeders. I just remade new hummingbird water today. If you were in school today, because on Fridays we make new hummingbird water. You're supposed to replace your hummingbird water every week, which makes me go through an awful lot of sugar here, because to make 6 cups of hummingbird nectar, I have to do 6 cups of water and 1.5 cups of sugar. And if I do 8 cups, I have to do 2 cups of sugar. And if I do that every Friday, that's 2, 4, 6, 8 cups of sugar just for hummingbird feeders every single month. That's a lot, right? So anyway, that's what I've been doing over here, and that's what's going on in the back of my garden. So I can't wait to hear what's going on with your garden. So let's finish off our daily calendar, and then you can go on with your day and send me your work, okay? So we said that today was, I think we said today was Friday, right? Today's Friday, so yesterday was Thursday, and tomorrow will be Saturday, right? Okay, I'm gonna put that down. All right, and it is still spring and it's still warm, and we said it was cloudy, and we said we were gonna do an art project today from Miss Jill's kit. You're gonna do writing from your writing folder. For your math, you could do some measuring and you could tell me something, or you could show me some of your fractions, like 1/4 of a cookie, 1/2 a cookie, 1/4 of your Play-Doh, 1/2 of your Play-Doh, 1/3 of your Play-Doh. You could do some measuring. If you were measuring something to cook, you could show me on the 1/4, 1/4 of a teaspoon, or 1/2 of a cup, or 1 whole cup. So see if you can send me some pictures of some of the measurements you've been practicing with, or if you're playing in your water table at recess and you have some different size cups, you have your 1/4 cup. Show me how you can pour it 4 times into your whole cup. Okay, so I want to see all your measurements today. So those are your activities. So let's sing our days of the week. Days of the week. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. And for Annabella, Scarlett, and Thea, we are going to sing our months of the year song, because they've been requesting that because they're practicing it. How many months are there? 1 group of 10 and 2 ones. 12, 12, 12, 12 months come in every year. 12, 12, 12, 12 months come in every year. January, February, March, and April, May, and June, July, and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. Oh, so one other thing we talked about last night at our parent-teacher conference, or Wednesday night at our parent-teacher meeting, was graduation. And it looks like most of the parents said that you guys would like to do a graduation in person. So we're going to try to practice some graduation songs and things that we'll be doing for our graduation. We have a couple songs that we like to sing. One is going to be the graduation song that we have been practicing. It's time to graduate, look, listen, and smile. It's time to graduate, look, listen, and smile. Sometimes it's scary, but sometimes it's fun. One thing for certain, graduation has come. Right? That's one. And we also sing a song called Following the Leader. I don't know if we're going to do that one for graduation, but we're following the leader, the leader, the leader. We're following the leader on graduation day. Hooray, hooray, it's graduation day. Hooray, hooray, it's graduation day. Hooray, hooray, it's graduation day. Hooray, hooray, hooray. All right. So I will have to get your caps to you that you'll be wearing for graduation so you can come in with them on. Your parents can help get your hair done that day. And we will be doing everything outside. We will be spaced further apart than we normally are because of the coronavirus. We'll be having families sit together, and then Katie and I will be calling people up, and Katie and I will be wearing masks and gloves, and we can pass you your graduation certificates. And maybe maybe people could bring a little picnic if they wanted to, or some kind of a snack, but rather than have food that people are all sharing, we could maybe just have people bring their own food. We can talk about that more when it gets closer to graduation. All right, so goodbye. Hope you have a nice day. I can't wait to see your work.